Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel That Model Railway Guy, and welcome to another live stream. Hello, yes, we're back here again. It's another live stream, as I just said. And it's Christmas as well, it's a Christmas live stream. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, the reason, well, there's a couple of reasons I'm doing this one as it is. As I always try to do a live stream when I hit a sort of subscriber milestone as such on the channel, just to say thank you. I'm doing one of those again. This one, as you may have seen from the thumbnail, was originally going to be for 800 subscribers, but you guys are so awesome that no sooner had I seen that the channel had passed 800 subscribers, I thought, oh, I need to do a live stream soon then. Great, I'll do that next week. And then in the past week, you guys have blown through 800 and have passed 900. So yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. It's still kind of amazing to me that anyone wants to watch me make videos about my model railway. So thank you to everyone who is sort of tuning in and watching and continues to watch the videos every week. There's lots more videos coming very soon. All over Christmas I've got more videos and into the new year as well. Lots of filming and lots of planning been happening. Yeah, there's lots more to come. The other reason as well as I thought I'd do a live stream now is because basically we're not going to get too far into it because it's probably on everyone's mind at the moment. But obviously, we've had a lot of new restrictions come into place recently, for the southeast and London over the weekend, and lots more places today, so I hear. And so that's obviously disrupted quite a lot of people's Christmas plans. So I thought, if you're now stuck at home and you're not necessarily celebrating Christmas in the way that you wanted to, well, we can have a little party here. We can have a little Christmas party here, and we can sort of, hang out in the chat with some like-minded model railway people. And speaking of the chat, I'm monitoring and I can see you all here. Hello everybody. Hello Xander Day. Hello Thiru. Secret of the Spatula. That's a really cool name, by the way. I didn't say that earlier when I was replying to you in the chat, but yeah, that's, that's such an awesome name. I feel like I've said that before. Did I say that to you on a previous live stream? Anyway, hello Sam M. I've just seen yours come. Hello, Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to you as well. Merry Christmas to everybody, in fact. So yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a Christmas live stream today. It's not very Christmassy, I'll be honest. I was hoping to put sort of LED lights all over the layout, and I tried that, and they all fell down and kept knocking the engines off, so I thought we'd better not do that. And then I had a bit of a backup plan, which if you saw my previous video, which I had the N-gauge little sort of circular track going around a little desktop Christmas tree, I was going to try and get that up and running as well, and then I didn't have enough cameras to film it, so unfortunately we haven't got much in the way of Christmassy stuff today. Although, that said, the first train I'm going to bring in now, because I should probably get on with it and run some actual trains rather than just jabber on for an hour. You'll see, hopefully, coming into shot now, we've got the little Pecket. He's coming in, and he's got a train of parcels or presents. It's not parcels, it's presents at this time of year, isn't it? So yeah, hopefully you can see that a little bit better on that shot there. But yeah, the Pecket is delivering some parcels today, so we've got that going on. And yeah, I will admit I haven't actually cleaned. I've cleaned the rails, but I haven't had a chance to clean the loco wheels today. So we might see some erratic running. But yeah, there you go. You can see everything there. Sam M says he's cleaned the like button, so feel free to press it. By all means, yes, do. Everyone go for it. Press the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. I know this is all about celebrating that we've just hit the 900 milestone, but yeah, 1,000 isn't far off now, so that's quite exciting, and I'm gonna have to come up with something special for that, I think. So yeah, I'll definitely have to sort of come up with. I've got some ideas. I'm not going to spoil them. But yeah, anyway, let's go to. I've sort of got a comp view, so you can see we've got lots going on today. There you go. Can you see that? And I shall try and run another engine in now for you. So we've got lots of different angles, and hopefully you guys can see this. It's the Hatton's P-Class. Lovely little runner, this. Yeah, lovely little loco. Really consistent, smooth runner, which is why I like running it on the live streams, because yeah, it is. It's a joy to run, basically. You can just see. I have to remember to look at the engine in real life and not on the camera or not on the monitor that I'm using, because otherwise everything's on a little bit of a delay, and so things kind of crash into buffers is what I've found. So yeah, we'll run him. He's got a job to do. He's got a van to pick up. So we'll get the P class out of there, and that's of course in the SECR livery, which is a fantastic little livery. Very Christmassy, I think, as well, because it's all sort of green with gold trimming everywhere. It's very nice. But we've got this little van here which needs to be picked up, and yeah, that can just sit there for a minute. And right, I'll go do some sort of shuffling around now, which is why I might get a bit quieter because I'm moving away from the microphone. But hopefully you can't see my hand making an absolute pig's ear of this, although I suspect you probably can. If you can, we'll just ignore it. It didn't happen, yeah. Zan today says, I know you probably have a schedule for this, but would you consider running the LNER J13? I don't have a J13. Are you meaning the J15? I can run the J15. I've never heard of a J13 though. I think I'll have to look into that. Apologies for the hand of God, by the way. If this is the first time you're tuning into a live stream, then obviously my layout doesn't have point motors. So you will see the hand of God coming from time to time to move the points around. But yeah, off goes the Pecket. He'll be back later. We'll find something for him to do later on. Actually, do you know what? I should probably switch to a camera where you can actually see what's going on. That would help, wouldn't it? So yeah. And of course, there are going to be moments of silence as well as I try to juggle things around in the fiddle yard as well. Righto, so let me... right, well, I will get the J15 out because I happen to have it here. So, as a sort of consolation prize for not having a J13, if such a thing exists, I have got the J15 out. Can't get my words out today. But before we do that, I think we need to take the P class away. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with far too many engines on the layout, and I'm not going to know what to do with them all. So we'll get this moving now. I'm quite pleased with how I've managed to line the shots up this week. Yeah, you can see it is a really nice, smooth, slow runner, this one. Just easing it to a stop there. And yeah, it's always nice when you find a loco that runs really well. Yeah. Oh, Xantaday says the J52. Right, I definitely don't have a J52. I know that for a fact. I should probably look into getting one. Secrets of the Dispatcher says the J52 and the J13 are the same thing. Okay, that makes sense then. That probably explains why I've never heard of one. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have a J52, but we will run the J15 as sort of a consolation, and also because I've already put it on the track. So, so yeah, I've skipped a few comments as well. Thuru says, I like to think this is attached to the modular layout as a shunting yard. Yeah, you can absolutely think that if you like. It isn't in reality, unfortunately, because it doesn't actually line up with it, which is a shame. I would like to kind of figure out a way to join this up to the modular layout at the back. But I mean, we can pretend it is in our minds. It's all part of the same railway system, which is fine by me. So here we go. The P class has picked up its wagon, and it'll retreat off into the sidings now. And we better get another engine out pretty quickly, I think. So we'll get the J15 out now. So here we go. Here's the J15. This is another wonderful runner. I feel like I've run this on my live streams a couple of times now. I definitely ran it on the last one. But yeah, this is the Hornby J15. Wonderful loco, this. Such a smooth runner. Probably the best tender engine I own, honestly. I really must do a review of this because it is honestly just a fantastic little loco. And I'm going to give you a little close-up view there. Actually, I'll just move it a little bit further into shot. You can see sort of how well it runs just with that slow speed there. And the wagon has derailed. Fantastic! This is what I get for propelling wagons in when I've derailed the other wagon in attempting to fix it. There we go. Right, I think that's going to help. Do you know what it is? These are the Dapper wagon kits, and the couplings on them are a bit dodgy, as I think I said in the video when I was making them. So I do need to replace The I do need to replace the couplings on them at some point, just to really improve them. Right, so I'm backing them in. Unfortunately, you can't see much of the J15 because it's sort of obscured by the dapple wagon. So that's a bit of a shame. I might have to fix that. Tell you what I'll do. We'll run it back into that same siding that the P-Class was in, and then you'll at least get a little bit of a sense of what it looks like. Which camera is that? It's this one. Here we go. It's just coming into shot for you now. There we go. Such a lovely little loco, this. I really wish that Hornby did this in the J15. Not the J15. This is the J15. It's the Y14, I think. It's like a it's the same loco basically, but like a pre-grouping livery in sort of like a really nice rich blue. I wish Hornby did that variant, and I'm really disappointed they haven't. Yeah, maybe we'll see that in 2021. Who knows? Right, having a look at the comments again. Xander Day says, I get a bit confused with all the J classes. Yeah, me too, mate. Honestly, it's there's a lot of them. The Theory says the detailing in the P class though, it's amazing. I wonder if it has a name though. I don't know if it does. It's number 27, which is one of the preserved ones. Am I right in thinking that? It's not Primrose, is it? I know there was a P class called Primrose, and is that the one that's on the Bluebell Railway? I don't know. Yeah, there's certainly the one that I've got here doesn't have a nameplate on it because it's in the pre-grouping livery. But yeah, it is a really fantastic little engine that. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to go through the chat so that I don't miss anything. Secret of the Spatula says, "Oh, could you do a quick look at the locos you have?" I could. They're kind of all in a box at the moment because I'm sort of the layout is not set up where it's usually set up. So I've sort of brought some of the engines into one bit into the layout. I haven't really got a camera on them, but I can tell you what I do have. I've got the Pecket B2. I've got the Sentinel diesel shunter. I've got the J72. Oh, I'll tell you what, I should have run that because that's a tank engine. That's a J class. I absolutely should run that. I'll tell you what, we'll get that on the layout now. That's the Bachmann, the Bachmann J72. It's in the NER green, so technically it's not a J72. It's what do you call it? It's an E1. By the way, here comes the hand of God. There we go. So yes, let's go back to this shot, and then you can see the J72 come in. But yes, as I say, technically it's an E1, but we'll call it a J72 for the moment because that makes sense. And here it comes now. And yeah, really, really lovely loco this. This was sort of like a return to form for Bachmann for me, I think. They sort of had they've had a difficult few years, I think, and when this little loco came out, I was super impressed with it, and I really enjoyed running it. It's just a shame that it's got a cordless motor in it, really, and that it doesn't work so well on feedback controllers, but that's probably not going to be much of an issue for me now that I've sort of upgraded all my controllers. So yeah, I think cordless motors are the way most model railway manufacturers are going to go, but yeah. Theory says it's so smooth the wagons couldn't handle it. Yes, that's the J15 with the dapple wagons derailing. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it just says someone made a Y14 Hornby shed on Instagram. Oh yes, I remember seeing that now. Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, man, I really wish Hornby did one. I really wish they did it. Xander Day says, oh, the P class is Primrose. Oh, fantastic. Oh, and Theory said that as well above. Just P class is Primrose, Bluebell. Fantastic. Okay, well, good to know that my good to know that I was sort of in the right mindset. Mindset? I don't know. I'm talking rubbish tonight. Ignore like 95% of what I say because it's just waffle. The Evening Star 92. Hello to you. What's the favourite of my models? Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, because I was just singing its praises a minute ago, I've got to say the J15 is currently my favourite. Which I suppose, seeing as I'm talking about it, I should put it back on the screen. Yeah, it is just such a lovely running loco. A bit of a boring livery though, but I quite like the sort of the BR black. Like I kind of like the utilitarian sort of look of it. But I mean, the Hatton's P class as well. I mean, basically, I'm running all my favourite locos tonight. I'm running the ones that I know run the best, and are the ones that I enjoy as well. But hopefully, that we're going to have a lot more. We're going to have a lot more engines coming out next year. We've had a bit of. I feel like we've had a bit of a dry sort of year. Well, personally, I have anyway in terms of new engines, because the vast majority of the stuff that I've wanted to see has been delayed till next year. Or the stuff that I've been waiting for has been delayed rather. Stuff like the Hush Hush, I don't really know if I want to go into too much detail because these are all future videos that I've got planned. But certainly the Hush Hush is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that one. Let's go back to. We'll go back to this and we'll take the J15 out. Sorry, I'm being a bit heavy-handed on the controls now. There we go. I'll just run that into the siding. And you know what would help is if I switch the camera as well. Oh yes, of course, you can only see the wagons. Do I have the Evening Star 92 says, do I have a 9F? No, I don't. Do you know what? I really should look into getting one. Because they're big beasties, aren't they? And I do like a big engine. So yeah, we'll definitely have to look into getting one of those at some point. But yes, because Bachmann do one. Hornby also have a railroad version, don't they? Or am I making that up? Blimey, do you know the J15 was so smooth then when it started, I wasn't even sure it was moving. I turned the controller up. Right, comments are coming in thick and fast, and I feel like I'm missing some. So if I have missed any comments, do just stick them in the chat again, and I'll hopefully I'll get round to them a second time. It's quite difficult trying to find enough stuff to say, and then also trying to sound interesting at the same time, I guess. Right, let's. What should we do now? Right, any requests? I say any requests. Everything that you've requested so far, I don't have on me. So that's sort of a bit annoying. What's Hamel? There were some words there, and none of them came out correctly. Hello, MLB Jake 14. He says, "What's my favourite steam loco and diesel in the real world?" Ooh, do you know what? That's a really handy question because it allows me to talk about something that I wanted to talk about or wanted to mention anyway. I think probably one of my favourite engines in the world is the steam engines. This is going to be. Sorry, I'm not great with diesels. For diesel wise, I'd probably say the Class 47. It's probably a bit of an obvious answer, but it's kind of the only experience I have with diesels, and they're awesome. Tom Ward has said the J94. You're not far off with that in terms of steam engine. My favourite steam engine would be the 16-inch Hunslet, I think. You see them a lot on preserved railways, and the preserved railway that I used to work on as a teenager had quite a few of them. So I kind of grew up just thinking of those as the standard kind of steam engine, and they've grown on me. And I thought we'd never see one in ready-to-run model railways. And I thought, there's all these sort of tutorials online and taking a J94 and sort of hacking one of those to bits. And I was I was tempted to kind of try and do that maybe at some point, but also I'm not great at hacking things to bits. And I'd probably, I quite like my engines. I'd rather not mess around with them if possible. Speaking of J94s, let's run one onto the layout now. But yeah, and then a couple of weeks ago, I think Rapido announced that they're making a 16-inch Hunslet. Sorry, I've messed up the points there. So there you go. There's the hand of God. And we'll just run in. Oh, I've not cleaned the wheels on this one. You can tell. Yeah. Okay. We'll find a different J94. Sorry, everybody. Slight delay to the service here. Let's go with this one. This looks like it's got nice clean wheels. This is the problem when you don't get a chance to run your layout as often as you'd like, you end up with the wheels being all dirty. So yeah, this is the J94, which is very similar to the 16-inch Hunslet, I think. Little saddle tank loco, and these are also built by Hunslet as well. And I think, although I did just turn down the controller, that has stalled. Oh no, it is going. Okay, never mind. It's a bit jerky, but it's working, just about. This version is this is the Hornby J94 in the NCB green livery, number 49. This is preserved, isn't it? Somewhere, I'm not entirely sure where. It wasn't the Great Central, was it? Or Grand Central? Is it Great Central or Grand Central? One of them is the main line, one of them is a preserved railway, and I always get the two mixed up. Secret of the Dispatches, says Janice. I presume that's meaning is that your favourite diesel loco? Xandaday says, is there a model that just brings you an endless amount of joy? Something that makes you happy whenever you see it? I mean, I'll be honest, I kind of feel that about all my engines, to be honest. I consider myself very lucky to have as many engines as I do, and I don't have a big collection by any means. A lot of these, some of them I had when I was a kid. Some of them I've gotten more recently, in the last couple of years, as I've gotten back into the hobby. But yeah, it's I sort of I like all my engines for different reasons. There's very few engines that I look at and kind of think, I don't like this. I don't think I've got any engines like that. Generally, if I bought an engine and put my own money up for it, which is certainly very much the case with this channel, then yeah, it's very much a case where I like the engine to begin with. Right, let's have a look at some of the. We'll have a look at some more comments again as the J94 moves off. Oh, Secret of the Dispatcher said that's the one at Tanfield. Oh, right, so it's Tanfield then. Right, so I was completely off then. Thanks for the correction there. And you volunteer there, do you? That's fantastic. That's amazing. I've just sort of started getting back into volunteering myself, which I've done a day, basically, but then everything sort of had to shut down because of restrictions. So, yeah, a little bit of a shame there, but hopefully there'll be more opportunities next year. The Evening Star 92 also says he also volunteers at the Tanfield Railway, and number 49 is in regular use. Oh, fantastic. That's good to hear. I always like to hear when a preserved engine, is actually being used as opposed to sort of just sitting on display. I know there are some engines that kind of, have to really be display pieces, either for sort of, well, yeah, there's all sorts of various reasons why you wouldn't want to necessarily run an engine, but it's always a bit sad when you see an engine kind of just sort of stuffed and mounted in a way, and it's nice to know that they're running properly. Barry Humphrey says, a bit late, I'm afraid. Don't worry, Barry. You're welcome here, whatever time you turn up. It's great to have you here. We hope you enjoy the evening with us. Xandaday says he wished he lived in Britain for two reasons: the lovely railways and the decent shipping costs. Fantastic. Yeah. No, the railways are certainly fantastic. I can imagine the shipping costs. The shipping costs to the USA. Oh right, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that's going to be difficult. And haven't Hornby just announced as well that they're stopping international shipping for the moment, which is going to be a bit of an issue for a lot of people, I imagine. So, yeah, we're not going to get too political on this, but I think a lot of us know the reason for that. Right, have I missed any comments? I don't think so. If I have, just stick them in the chat again, and I'll get round to them eventually. Timbersurf says it's the same way around. Yeah, it's exchange rates and international shipping is never great, isn't it? It's one of those things that I sort of feel like we should have figured it out now, but I suppose there's always going to be a cost with shipping stuff around the world. But if places like Hornby and Bachmann and everyone else can manage to get the stuff from China to the UK, you'd think there'd be an easier way of. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it because I'm not a manufacturer and I don't know anything about manufacturing or doing anything along that line. Right, what am I doing? Oh, I've got engines which I should probably run. So let's run this one. This is the J72. We'll take away those presents. We're not taking them away literally. We're just taking them to be processed so they can be put under the tree for a few days' time. So don't worry, the presents aren't going anywhere. They just need to be taken to Santa's headquarters up in the North Pole. And oh, there we go. I'm trying to do realistic running for a change, and it's sort of working, which is nice. Right, what else should I run? Um, how long have we been going, by the way? Been going 26 minutes, so that's all right. That's good. I sort of feel part of me feels like we've only just started, and part of me feels like we've been going for hours. So, yeah, there's lots to think about. Evening Star 92 says, "Have I ever been to the Tanfield Railway?" No, I haven't. Do you know what? I really need to go. There's a lot of railways. Do you know what? Okay, for the longest time, I was sort of in this situation where I only visited like this. Oh, that's the wrong shot. That's also the wrong shot. There we go. Found it eventually. Do you know what? We're going to stick it on this one for a bit, just so I can have a bit of a break from switching cameras and also running trains. But we'll run the train still. You just might see my hands come in every so often. Yeah, I was a bit sort of not rubbish, but I sort of used to only visit like the same 3 railways for a big long time. So yeah, I've got a lot of railways. Like there were just a lot of railways that I didn't know about. I think like until like a few years ago. Well, no, I don't know. There were several that there were like 2 or 3 that I visited regularly all the time, and then there was like every so often like I think like for example I've been on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway once I think as far as I know, and then there are other railways where I've been on probably 20, 30, 40, 50 times. Certainly the one that I used to volunteer on as well. So yeah, I've been there quite a lot. But speaking of the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, is anyone going to watch the programme that's on tonight? There's the Christmas special. I presume they're going to be doing all the Santa special stuff and the Northern Lights, the Steam Lights experience thing that they did last year. I presume that's what this is going to be about. It certainly looked very festive looking at the trailer. But yeah, that's on just after this, conveniently. So you can catch that on Channel 5. See, they should be paying me. I'm doing the free promotion for them. Right. Barry Humphrey says, "Sorry, I have to go." No worries, Barry. Thank you for joining us while you could. And happy Christmas to you as well. Sorry, I was just finishing off reading your message there. Timbersurf says he's slowly writing up anecdotes for his fictional... Right, there's a word there, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Is that an American word, or is... Right. There's something that... You can read it for yourself. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it, but it sounds awesome, whatever it is. Fictional... Right, let's have a go at this. Fictional Lumsadonia Railway? Is that have I said that right? I suppose it's fictional, so, technically I can't get it wrong yet. Secret of the Spatula says July 2025 Tanfield Railway turns 300. Wow, that's incredible. That's actually astonishing. How is it that old? Because railways haven't been around for that long. Was it like a horse-drawn thing initially? Yeah, because wasn't Rocket like 1829 or something? So, oh right, yes, okay. Evening Star 92 says, yes, it was 100 years before locomotion, originally horse-drawn. Right, that makes sense then. Okay, I was getting confused then, and my tiny brain couldn't quite comprehend what was going on there, because I knew that steam engines hadn't been around that long, but also I wasn't wanting to dispute what you said on camera. So, fantastic. Right. Timbersurf says right, this referring to his fictional railway, I presume. Kingdom next to Snowdonia in Wales. Oh, fantastic. That sounds awesome. So is that going to be like Welsh narrow gauge then? Or just standard gauge but Welsh? Either way, it sounds awesome. Theory Raj says, can I run the Ruston? Absolutely, I can run the Ruston. I was looking for someone to suggest something for me to do next. So let's get the Ruston out and let's see. What shall I run it with? I've got the odd wagon here or two that I can do something with. Let's grab this one. Do you know what? I really should... Maybe for the next live stream that I do, I'll come up with some like pre-recorded videos to just sort of, like stick in the middle for a bit, just to keep everyone occupied while I faff around with trains. And here comes the hand of God, by the way. Boop, just changing the points. And yeah, here comes the Ruston, making its way very slowly onto the track. Again, this one hasn't had its wheels cleaned, so could be a little bit interesting. Can you see that there? Coming into shot now. Oh, and it's stalled on the points. Fantastic. There we go. Is it going to move? Oh, there we go. Okay, right. Sorry about that, everyone. I promise you, it's not the loco's fault. It is entirely my fault, and not remembering to clean all the wheels and everything before before I started this live stream. It's all been a bit manic, you know. Christmas, everything gets a bit manic, doesn't it? James Aston says, do I have any interest in narrow gauge? Absolutely, I love narrow gauge. Do you know what? A few years ago, I didn't really know much about it. I just knew that I liked it. And then I did a fantastic trip to Wales where I stayed in Barmouth, I think. And I just went to around several railways. I went to the Festiniog, did the Welsh Highland Railway. Obviously, those are very close to each other. Did Tallylin. Did lots of railways, sort of in narrow gauge railways in that area. And it was honestly one of the best holidays I've ever had. I'd love to go back and do it again someday, to be honest. So, hopefully when everything works out. And, you know, maybe find some other narrow gauge railways to go to. But, you know, honestly, I've got my work cut out for me with the modular layout at the moment that I'm building. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, by the way, if this is the first time you've tuned into the channel, or you're not as familiar with all the videos that I put up, the modular railway is the layout I'm currently building, not this one. This is my little shunting layout. But after I've finished the modular layout, I would love to do something similar with 009, because there's a couple of layouts I've seen online in various forums and stuff who have done kind of modular 009 layouts, and they look awesome. And also 009 009 is just fantastic. Like, you know, it's great that it's sort of become more popular in recent years, because I mean, if you really, you know, a few years ago, if you want, or I suppose not a few years ago, but 5 or 6 years ago, which I suppose is technically a few, so I'm just anyway, point is, you had to sort of kit build your own locos. There wasn't very much sort of in terms of ready to run. So it's great that it's kind of been opened up to a new market, which is in part thanks to Bachmann and also, I can't remember what the name is. Heljan. Some people call him Heljan. The people who actually work there call it Heljan, I think. So it's Danish, Dutch, Danish, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, they do a lot of 009 stuff, and I'm going to go back to the comments. So, right. So just Google Lom Sidonia. Okay. Right. I imagine that. I imagine it would. I can't imagine many people have got that in. I'll definitely have a look to that. That would be awesome. Standard gauge, but totally freelance. Even the locos. Fantastic. That's awesome. Evening Star 92 says they will create a section of wooden horse-drawn track. At its prime, there were 4 tracks at certain points, and there was what 2 times ago. Okay, right. I presume that's talking about Tanfield. I mean, that's incredible. Like, it's you know, when you think about it, it's incredible what humans managed to do at the earliest points of engineering, isn't it? Let's run the Ruston around a bit. Actually, no, I'm going to change my mind. Let's put the Ruston back there, and I'm going to be a bit naughty. I'm just going to do a bit of quick uncoupling. Here we go. Oh, right, there we go. I haven't got the invisible uncouplers on the track tonight, which is why I'm having to do everything by hand. So yeah, let's get this on the. We'll get this on the shot up here. Oh, it stopped on that same point again, hasn't it? Yeah, it doesn't like that one point. Go on. Or maybe it's that one wheel it doesn't like. Anyway, we'll get it. We'll send it off down here, and it's that one point. Do you know, honestly, these I was going to say it does this one fine, but clearly not. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. We'll give you a close-up look at the Ruston there. Guys, it's such a lovely little loco, isn't it? I was answering a question, now I can't remember what it was, so sorry. Timber Sir says, Gobsmack, you haven't heard of it, as I've been subbed to your channel for ages. Have you changed your channel name? Because I remember someone talking about a freelance railway that they were designing before. So maybe I was talking to you, and I've just got a terrible memory. But there was someone who was building something that was like an E1 or an E2 or something, the LBS ER engine. MLB Jake 14 says, do I do any train spotting? Probably not. I don't think what I do really. I mean, if you've seen any of the heritage railway videos that I put up, that's as close as I get to train spotting, really. I don't know. I don't. You won't find me standing on a platform on on a random day just waiting for a train to come through. Sadly I'm far too busy to be doing things like that. But when I do get to heritage railways, I kind of consider that a little bit sort of train spottery-ish, because you go in there to see certain engines or see steam. But yeah, that's kind of as close as I get. Landed the train says hello there. Hello back to you. Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a good day. Secret of the Spatula, and now it costs thousands of pounds. Is this still in relation to is this still in relation to international shipping costs? In which case I'm not surprised, but I didn't realise it was quite that high. I sort of feel quite fortunate that I live in the UK, and yeah, everything here is, well, certainly the UK ready to run stuff is readily available for the most part. By the way, I've just looked at the thing. We've got 21 people watching, which is awesome. I kind of, every time I do these, I sort of feel like, I'm going to be chatting to myself for the most part. But actually, it always amazes me every single time that there's people who actually want to come and hang out with me while I just, fail to shunt trains around on the layout. So, yeah, let's get the Ruston running again. We'll, because let's face it, what we all want to see is trains running. Oh, that was a bit of a dodgy one for me. There's a slight delay on the camera, which means that if I look at the screen instead of the actual engine, I run the risk of running it into the buffers every so often. Right, should we go a bit over the top? Let's go over the top. I wasn't going to do this till later, but we're 40 minutes into the live stream now, so let's see if this works. I have no guarantee if this works. This loco may not run on this layout. I've never tried it before, but it's Christmas, so let's see what happens. And I'm making a right pig's ear of trying to get it onto the track, which doesn't bode well. So you could be about to witness quite a literal train crash here. Yeah, let's see what happens, shall we? Let's cut to the wide at least, so if it does all fall apart, you can see what's going on. And I will just switch that point there so we can see it coming into shot, hopefully. Oh, I'm nervous, guys. I'm nervous. Here we go. Can you guess what it is yet? It's coming. Yeah, it's just about making it around the corner. It is the Flying Scotsman. I thought I'd better run this one because I just put out that Heritage Railway video the other day of it. Obviously, it's in the BR livery now, but this is the livery that it was in when I first saw it, which was back at York in 2004, I want to say. I was a teenager back then. First time I'd ever seen it, but yeah. So I always associate the Flying Scotsman with this sort of LNER livery and with the smoke deflectors and everything, even though it's technically not a livery it ever ran in. It's only a preservation thing. But then my main interest is in preservation anyway. So yeah. Hello, Billy Bean. Nice to see you joining us. Yes, I'm having a very good day. Now that I've got the live stream set up and it's all working and everyone seems to be enjoying it, I'm as happy as Larry. It's great. I hope you're doing well as well and you're having a nice Christmas so far. Simon DL says, hey, great to see a running session in time for Christmas. Thank you. I don't know why I'm... yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it is what I mean. Let's run this. Can we get this into the siding? Is this going to work? Oh, it was a little bit stiff on the points there, but hopefully you'll get a good view of it here. Yeah, it's just coming into shot there. This is the Hornby model, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. I really like this. Do you know what? This is one of the engines that I'm really looking forward to getting the modular railway finished, or at least track laid into a full circle, because this is an engine that I can't really properly run on this layout. As I think you can see, it's quite big for it. So yeah, we'll have to. Actually, I've kind of sort of put myself into a bit of a corner here because I now can't run anything else because the Flying Scotsman is in the way. Simon DL says you could add a water trough for the Scotsman. Yes, I think. Well, I think the speeds that I'm running at, that would perhaps be a bit unnecessary. But yes, maybe we should do that at some point on Pickwick Yard, just as a joke. That's an April Fool's sort of video, isn't it? What's my the Evening Star 92 says? What is your opinion on the RRP of Bachmann's improved precedent class? Yeah, I mean, it's not great, is it? Well, I'm sure the model will be fantastic, and it certainly looks amazing, and I'm glad that Bachmann are sort of getting back on their feet and they are starting to release models again. But £220 for a loco is it's steep, isn't it? And I worry that it's going to price a lot of people out of the market. Certainly, I mean, certainly I won't be picking one up because it's, if I modelled the LNWR, it's an LNWR, isn't it? I think it is. Anyway, if I modelled that that region, I think that, obviously it would be a dream come true. It'd be like, you've been waiting for a pre-grouping model for this era for that area to come out for ages. You get the Cole Webb tank, and then you get the precedent as well. Yeah, I mean, obviously there, but it's not, for me, even though it's in a preserved livery, or at least the locomotion version is. It's just a bit too much for me. I can't really justify it when I feel like I could buy several other models for the same price. I could buy several other models, for £220 essentially. So, I really hope it doesn't go that way. I know prices are starting to creep up gradually, and that will always happen. But the fact that Hornby are selling the Hush Hush for under 200 quid, I know it's only £1 under 200 quid, but when you look at the retailers are selling them, there's the 15% discount and everything, or they undercut the recommended retail price. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. Like, I don't know, Locomotion, obviously, because you can only get them from Locomotion, will only have them in certain. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of the Loco, not so much a fan of the price. So yeah, it's a tricky one, that, and I think the problem is that a lot of people will buy it still, which is not necessarily mean to say a problem. I mean, if you've got the money for it and you want it, then buy it. But I don't know. I do worry that we're gonna see these prices going up and further up because manufacturers think they can get away with it. So yeah. By the way, obviously I'm taking the Flying Scotsman out of there because I have no way to do anything else with it on the line. So let's get the Ruston back out, shall we? Where is the Ruston? Oh, he's still down here. No, not there. He's here. There we go. Right. We'll get the Ruston back out to pick up that wagon that it dropped off earlier. If I can remember which controller to use. Oh. Yeah, I really do need to clean the wheels on this one. Here it comes, just back into shot now. I mean, when it runs properly, it runs really well. I'm inclined to say it's more down to my dodgy track and dirty wheels more than anything, more than the actual loco itself. So there's a lot of comments I've skipped, so I'm just trying to keep up to it, keep up with everything rather. But as I say, if there are any I've missed and you really desperately want an answer to something, then do just let me know. Dreadnought05 says, I was toying with the idea of a modular Fremo style layout myself, and watching your videos convinced me to just get on with it. Fantastic! That's amazing to hear. Yeah, absolutely. The best thing the best decision you can make with a model railway, honestly, is to just start. I spent so much time faffing around, planning things out and coming up with track plans and trying to figure out what I wanted and all this. And honestly, if you just start, if you actually just make it doesn't have to be perfect straight away. I'm sort of getting nervous because the Ruston is going over these points again. Do you know what? Actually, though, it's made it this time, which I'm amazed about. Here comes the hand of God, though, to change the points there. Yeah, no, honestly, that's great to hear that you've been inspired to sort of get on with your own layout. And, that was the... right, I've got lots of locos in the fiddle yard, and they're all moving, and the one on track isn't moving. So, is this going to move? No, it's stalled. I thought we'd got away with it. I really thought we'd got away with it. Perhaps this is a sign, perhaps, that I shouldn't be running the Ruston today. So, yeah. Here it comes, just to pick up that little wagon. And I think I'm going to have to back it into the buffers, otherwise it's not going to connect. Do you know what? I don't know if that's actually connected or not. Oh, it has. Okay, brilliant. Well, we'll leave it there for a second just so you can have a look at it. Right. So I'm getting so far behind on the comments. Right. I'm gonna just sort of blast through a couple of these really quickly. So, are there MLB Jake 14 says, are there any new locos or rolling stock we can expect to see in the new year? I don't know. We'll have to see what Santa brings for Christmas, won't we? No, I've definitely got plans for stuff that I would like to do. I've got a hush hush on pre-order. I think I said that earlier. There's a couple of other locos from Hornby I'm looking forward to seeing as well. I'm tempted by the Dapol Moguls that have just come out recently because they seem like a really good model and they seem to be at a decent price. I know we've just been speaking about prices and everything creeping upwards, but that seems that they're about 140 quid or something. Which I mean, a few years ago I would have been gobsmacked by that. But to say that the Precedent, which is a smaller loco, I want to say is 220. I know the livery is a bit more fancy and it's a sort of one-off edition and everything, but 220 quid for that. And then when you consider that the Mogul is 140, I don't know. It's there's something odd going on there. But the LNR coal tank is lovely, says Simon DL. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I saw it at Keighley and Worth Valley. I've never seen it in Steam, unfortunately, but I saw it being shunted around the yard when I was there last. So yeah. Simon DL just says that the Rustons just went faster than the Scotsman. Yes, it did. Yeah, sorry, my bad there. Not the Rustons' fault. Jack's Railway says, can you run a diesel shunter 08? Unfortunately, I don't think I have. Do you know what? Actually, I've got a really old 08 somewhere, or I think it's an 08. I'll tell you what, I'll go and get that in a minute for you because I'll have to run to the other room. So there's always one. Every live stream, somebody asks for an engine that I haven't got on me at the moment. I have to run into the other room to grab something. So you can all do your countdown again. Zan today says, you know what I'd love to see? A Tornado come to the USA on the 100th anniversary of the Flying Scotsman's Tour of the United States. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. Does the Tornado have enough of a following in the United States to sort of warrant that? I mean, would anyone know what it is? Or would it just be a big PR stunt? I suppose that's what the Scotsman going over there initially was anyway. But yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. I suppose the problem with Tornado is that it's so busy making money over here. I say, not at the moment, obviously, with all the restrictions in place and everything. But yeah, it would be cool to see it go to some different places. Sorry, I'm sort of scrolling through. The Evening Star 92 says, honestly, I would have got it if it was under 200. Yeah. That's talking about the Precedent again. Yeah, I feel the same way, honestly. Like, if it had been under the £200 mark, I would have seriously considered it. The fact that it's above there by sort of quite a bit has just gone. It's nice, but it's not nice enough that I feel like I need it and I want it. I don't feel the need. I don't want it that badly, I guess, is what I mean. Jack's Railway says, can you run a diesel shunter or 08 or a Pecket W4? Well, I can definitely. I'll get the diesel shunter for you in a bit. But while you're waiting, since you asked nicely and because I ignored you for quite a long time as well, let's just switch those points there. Let's get out the Pecket W4. It's making its way onto the layout now. This one's running really well tonight. This could be a bit temperamental sometimes on this layout. And I will hasten to add as well that it's not the loco's fault, it is the dodgy track. These points that the Pecket is currently going over now are like third-hand Hornby points, set track points from like years ago. It's it's a bit crazy that anything manages to run over them at all. But yeah. Oh, sorry, you can't really see the Pecket in that shot, can you? So tell you what I'll do. I will move the Ruston out of the way, which I know you can't see, but you will just see the van start to move in the background there, and we'll cut to this shot, so you can see the Ruston making its way off. Right, everyone, cross your fingers, see if it makes it over these points all right. And is it going to do? Oh yeah, it looks like it's doing it. Whew, right at the end there, the Ruston hasn't let me down, which is nice. That's nice to see. So yeah, what I'll do now is I'll run the Pecket out, and we'll put that into the line that the Ruston was in there because it needs to deliver those presents. Let's go back to this shot. There we go. Right, let's run this out of here. I feel like every time I look away from the comments, I look back and there's like 50 new comments. So I do apologise for not keeping them up with them very well tonight. Perhaps I should just do like a full-on Q&A video or live stream at some point. I don't know if anyone would actually be interested in that though. Right. Xanderday says it has no following here. I'm assuming that's the Tornado. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. But I kind of understand that. I mean, it is very much a, you know, the Flying Scotsman is very well known. It's one of the world's most famous engines. Probably only second to Thomas the Tank, I'd imagine, who technically doesn't exist. Well, he does exist. Yeah. I'm dodging the question slightly here. What am I talking about? Never mind. All right. Let's go back to this shot so you can see the Pecket in a little bit more clarity, although it is slightly out of focus there, which is a bit of a shame. Right, let me just read. Let me check up on some comments. Evening Star 92. Can I please run the Terrier or the 49? What's the 49? I don't think I have a 49. Do I? Have I got a 49? I don't know what a 49 is, honestly. The Terrier, unfortunately, right. If any of you are here for my last live stream, I can't use the Terrier, unfortunately, at the moment because it has a DCC chip in it. I'm experimenting with DCC, and so as a result, I think it would be a bit ambitious for me to try and dismantle the loco on stream, take out the chip, and put the blanking plate back in, and then run it. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. But tell you what, I will figure out a way to show it on the channel at some point soon. So, if I don't do that, remind me in the comments of all my next videos, and I'll do it for you. Because the Terrier video has been the Terrier review that I did a while back has been gaining some traction recently. So yeah, and I love Terriers anyway. Terriers are awesome. Do you know what? Honestly, I need to, because I've got the A1. I feel like I need to get the A1X at some point. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of different engines that I'd like to get. A lot of different Terriers, rather, I would like to get in lots of different liveries. Xanderday says the only British loco people care about in the States is Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, I can see that. Honestly, I think the vast majority of people over here only care about Thomas the Tank Engine. If you ask them about, right. Secrets of the Spatula says, honestly, you're all sitting here talking about models priced around upwards of £200, and I've ordered the Class 17 EFE rail for 96 brand new. Fantastic. That's amazing. The Class 17, I'm going to have to look into one of those then, because that sounds more like my sort of price range. Yeah. EFE Rail, I haven't heard of them. Oh, yes, I have. I've got a bus that they made a while back. Oh, they back there. No, I remember now. It's Bachmann, isn't it? They're sort of doing their new thing where they use other people's sort of toolings. Yeah, okay. I remember now. Yeah, took the brain a while to catch up there, but I remember it. People are saying, yes, please, and I would be interested. Penn Junction and Jack's Row. I'm assuming that's to do a Q&A video. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do one of those in the future then. Maybe I'll do that for 1,000 subscribers then. We'll see if anyone actually sends any questions in. Billy Bean 89 says, how did I get started in model railways and railways in general? So my very first... So, right. I kind of consider it one and the same thing, really. My first trip to a heritage railway was when I was 3. I remember because my granddad it was one of his first days volunteering there as a guard. And I've got a photo of him actually with me on the platform. It was a Thomas Day. And that's like the first time I remember being on a steam railway. And I kind of guess the bug just sort of, I think, you know, a lot of kids at that age are interested, you know, certainly a lot of boys anyway, tend to be sort of interested in steam. Well, I say a lot of boys. I think kids in general just are, you know, fascinated by trains and steam trains, especially steam trains as well. And then a lot of them kind of tend to grow out of it. But I think probably for me, because I had that sort of, you know, connection to it in physical life, like there was steam engines that I could see and there was a place I could visit and go, and I kind of felt like I had that connection with my grandparents working there. Yeah, it would be it just sort of grew in me, I guess, and yeah, it just never ended. And so I had the Hornby track mat layout for ages as well when I was a kid. That was kind of the only model railway I had. It wasn't anything near to this. I mean, Pickwick Yard, which is this little shunting layout that you see now, which I'm just remembering I should probably run some trains on. So let's do something. Let's run a train of some sort. I'll get the P class out again because that's a good looking engine. So we'll get that out again with some vans. But yeah, Pickwick Yard I consider a very simple model layout, and my track mat layout in comparison was nowhere near as good as this. So you can imagine the sort of, I mean, it was literally just sort of like set track nailed to a board with a bit of scatter thrown all over the place, and it was a bit erratic in terms of running at best. But it was great for, you know, for a kid. I've still got it somewhere. It's in the garage, so I should probably, I don't know. It's a long-term ambition of mine to try and you know, update it and see what I can do with it to make it work. But a lot of the track on it I've sort of scavenged for other projects, so I would need to do a little bit of work to get it sort of operational again, I think. Oh, there we go. Just backing those into that siding there, and then we shall run it into the other one. So yeah, and then I kind of fell away from model railways a bit, and railways in general, while I was sort of, you know, not because I was a teenager or anything, but because life was happening, basically. You know, I was busy doing other things, and kind of hobbies and everything kind of sort of got pushed to the side. And I spent quite a long time away from home as well, sort of touring around the country doing various things. And as a result, that meant that I didn't really have the chance to do anything kind of involved with model railways as much as I would like. There we go. I'll give you that wider shot because you can see everything a little bit better there. Ooh, and then it's just into shot there. Jason says, is this layout your own design or from a specific track plan? This is my own design, sort of. It was inspired by I say inspired by, it was very much inspired by a book. I can't remember what it's called. It's a Hornby book, something like The World of Model Railways, or it was like a small kind of like little paperback book that you get. It's almost like a coffee table book or some of some sort. And there was a little sort of, there was a couple of pages or something about, you know, how you could have a minimum space layout, and something very similar to this. I think it was only the front two lines. So right, if I do a bit of, tell you what, I'll put you on the wide shot. So the layout that was, and I'll move the microphone as well so you can actually hear me while I'm doing this. But the layout that was shown in this book didn't include any of this back here. It was just these two lines and this sort of little kickback siding here. And then there was a back seam and it disappeared through a tunnel here. And that was kind of originally how I intended the layout, but then I realised I had an extra point and I could do a bit up here and have sort of a hidden scenic area sort of up towards the bridge in there. And that originally was going to be my fiddle yard, and trains would come out of there, you know, that's where they'd get set up. They'd come into here, they'd use this bit of track here, and then they'd enter the yard from there. Unfortunately, in practice though, that wasn't particularly, that didn't really work particularly well, because the area underneath the bridge is actually quite short. So you and also coming up to here as well, you can only really get an engine. This was kind of before all the small Peckets and the Rustons came out. The smallest engine I think I owned back then was a J94, which are quite big in comparison if you look at them next to a Pecket or a Ruston or something. And so you could really only get an engine and two wagons into that little kickback siding just up here. And so that's why, you know, last year I added the fiddle yard onto this. But again, this, if you look at one of the very first videos that I uploaded on this channel, this layout was very much assembled, not sort of modelled. It's not really a model railway. It's kind of a glorified train set, in my opinion. So yeah, it's an interesting one, but I do like it, and it certainly kept me occupied. This was always sort of meant to be a little bit of an easy way to get me started before I attempted something more complicated like the modular railway. I'm just wondering how long I've been going for. I've just realised we've been going for an hour, so I might have to stop soon. But also I'm having fun, so we'll keep going for a bit. But yeah, we'll run the Pecket out, and I'll catch up on all the questions. I did say I'd run a Class 08 at some point, and I said I'd do some other stuff as well. So I'll have to. Right, let's tell you what. Let's look at the comment. Right, Terrier 650 Whitechapel. Hi, that model railway guy. Can I see one of your tender locos with some vans, please? I'm sure I can do that. What has the vans? Oh, the P class has the vans. So I tell you what we'll do. I will run. Let's go. Right, you can't see it at the moment, but we'll go to this shot again. We'll run the P class back into that other siding. We'll drop the vans off, and then we'll get the the J15 back in to take them away. Hopefully that'll work, and I'm not being an idiot. What did he? Oh, Evening Star says by 49 I meant your J49. Oh right, okay, yes, I see what you mean now. What did you want me to just run that again? I suppose I could do that. I'm running out of now that I've realised what the time is. I feel like I'm running out of time. Okay, right. Let me do a quick moment where I go through all of the comments that I've got. I'm just switching points and everything to get everything in the right place. So has do you know what? I think the P class is actually stalled, which is not great. Here we go. Is it running? Oh, there we go. Right, it's moving now. Okay, hand of God, everyone. Right, Timber Surf has got to run. No worries, Timber Surf. Thank you for joining us while you did. And there's the thing. MLB Jake 14 says, could you do a collection video once a year? I'm sure I could. It would be great for the first year, but then it probably wouldn't change much for the following years. But maybe that's something I should do next year. I should do a collection video towards the start of the year and then see what it's like. Maybe once every 2 years. I don't feel like I buy a lot of locos, although I say that, and I did get quite a lot of locos last year because Hornby released so many little industrial ones. Right, I said I would bring out the... Sorry, hand of God. I said I would bring out 49. Yeah, sorry I didn't understand what you meant before. That was... my brain is a bit frazzled, as you can probably tell. Here comes 49 now, with the present train again. Lots more sorting to be done. Do you know, these locos are fairly... These Hornby J94s are pretty old now, but they still run rings around a lot of other locos. Detail-wise, they could be a bit better, but, you know, considering they're from the 80s, they hold up at a distance all right. You know, when I'm stood sort of, you know, a few feet away from it here, and it looks pretty good. Looks for what it is. Right. Theory says, I think we've almost hit the 1 hour mark. Yes, indeed we have. We're a couple of minutes over, but it's fine. We're going to keep going because there's no hard limit on this, so we'll go for a little bit longer, and also because we've got 20 people watching, so, you know, we'll keep going for a bit longer, until everyone gets bored at least. So Xandade says, so I've decided I'm going to model my railway in Train Simulator rather than physical, but I'll model part of it in real life, the Cronin branch line. Fantastic. That's a really interesting idea, actually, to model your entire system on Train Simulator, and then to just build a part of it in real life, and then you kind of, you know, that's a really cool idea. I've never thought of that before, and yeah, props to you, because that sounds really cool. I hope that goes well for you. Billy Bean 89 says, thanks for answering my questions. Q&A, and I have plenty more for you. I really do respect you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like I'm just being showered with praise now. Thank you. I'm really glad that everyone has been enjoying the videos. Whether you've been here from the very first video or whether you've just recently discovered me, you're welcome all the same. And yeah, I know that the modular railway videos have been very popular lately, and I do intend to do more of those. The issue I'm basically having at the moment is I've got a couple more videos planned, which will hopefully go out in January. I've definitely one in January, and then hopefully one towards the end of January, maybe February, depending on how much work I can get done. But the issue I'm going to run into pretty soon is that nowhere has any stocks of Pico track, which is sort of a bit of a problem because I want to get started on the station modules, but I don't actually have any track to lay, so yeah, or points or anything. James Aston says, could you do an Inglenook style shunting session? Shuffle some photos of your way. Yes, do you know what? I put that on my list to do a video very, very similar. Well, basically, yeah, to do the Inglenook shunting style session the other day. That's on my list of things to do, funnily enough. So that's good to know that people are out there are asking for it. Yeah, I will definitely do that. Especially now that you've asked, but it was already on my list to do. So yeah, definitely. Terrier 650 Whitechapel says, have you got an OO Terrier yet? Yes, indeed I do. We were talking about this earlier. I've got the Hornby Stepney. But unfortunately, it's got a DCC chip in it at the moment, so I can't run it on this because I'm running DCC. I'm running DC on this layout at the moment, so hopefully I'll be able to talk more about DC in the future. But I need to do some testing and some yeah. I went into this last time. If you want if you want the full story on what's happening with DC and DCC and everything, it's all on my last live stream, so you can shuffle through that. If you ever come to town, Secrets of the Spatula says, if you ever come to Tanfield, you can be sure of a warm welcome. Oh, thank you very much. To be honest, I've never felt, and I've never felt at any railway, at any heritage railway, that I've been unwelcome there. I always feel like volunteers, because so many heritage railways, well, all of them really are sort of volunteer run, that they're always glad to see you. They're always glad to see people taking an interest. So I think it is one of the really nice things about heritage railways is that you. You do sort of get the odd jobs worth every so often, but for the most part that people are doing it because they love the place. So that's good to know. I shall definitely, as I said earlier, put the Tanfield on my list of railways to visit at some point. So Jack's Railway says, everyone subscribe to that model railway guy. That is a message I can get behind. Yes, please do. As I said, we're nearing 1,000 subscribers now. Which is not something I thought I'd be saying this soon. I mean, really, the channel only started taking off in September. I did have it a bit before then, but I didn't really take it particularly seriously or really do anything with it. Just the odd video here and there. But people really seem to have been enjoying it these last few months. So, it's amazing to me that we're so close to 1,000 subscribers already, which is crazy. It's insane, but if you do feel like subscribing, please do. Hopefully by now you can see that the sort of, I tried to keep the quality production, the production right. Get your words out. I tried to make the production standards as high as I can on this, while still sort of making it feel genuine and not overproduced. So hopefully that comes across. But Anyway, I said I would run some vans with a tender engine. So let's. There we go. Sorry, a bit of a dodgy start there with the J15. Not the J15. The J94 number 49. I'm getting all my numbers mixed up today. That's running off now, and hopefully, all being well, I shall get the J15 with a few vans onto the layout for you, so you can see that. That's coming onto the layout now. I've just delayed something. Something's just derailed there. Oh, no, there we go. Right, there's the J15. As you can see, that's coming onto the track now. And we'll just shunt that into one of the sidings with some vans. I think I've switched to that camera a little bit early then. Right. Theory says, fun fact, Stepney is 145 years old now, I think, and Terrier 650 Whitechapel says he was 145 on the 21st. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I knew Terrier 150 was coming up. No, what is it, 150? Something like that. It was coming up soon. That's to 2022. I think someone talked to me about this on my last live stream. So yes. Hello, John. I've just seen your comment there. Yes, we just had the parcels train out. That my comments are on a little bit of a delay here. Xanderday said, "Oh yes, Stepney's birthday was yesterday. Yeah, it's a real shame. I should have, honestly, if I'd have known that, I would have got Stepney up and running, so we could have had him on the layout today. But I do hope that Hornby do. Did I say this earlier in the live stream, or was I just thinking this to myself earlier? But I really do hope that Hornby do some sort of like pack of some sort, like a bit like they did the Great Gathering pack a few years ago with all the different A4s, all the preserved A4s. I hope they do something similar with the Terriers in a couple of years' time for Terrier 150. That would be awesome. I'd like to see that. That is something I would spend money on, I think, because I'm a sucker for a Terrier. Right, the Evening Star 92 says, I subscribed today. Thanks to Secrets of the Spatula. Thank you. Okay, those messages have just disappeared for me, so I don't know why that happened. But thank you, Evening Star 92, for subscribing today. Thank you for anyone, regardless of whether you're in the chat or not, to any of you who have subscribed. Right, I think we're at 8:10 now. So Jack Rowe says he's finally getting a W4 for Christmas. Oh, fantastic! I hope it works well and it's all brilliant. And yeah, they're lovely little locos. They're fantastic. So I really do hope you enjoy running that. And yeah, so what shall I do? I'll run the. Oh, I'll tell you what. No, we'll leave the J15 there. We'll put him back there. And we'll cut to the wide again, and we'll just run the P class out again one last time because it's a lovely little loco. So let's just switch that shot there. Sorry for the hand of God. And here comes the P class now. Oh, it's just stopped on the points out of the fiddle yard. Here we go. It's coming in now. Bye, Secrets of the Spatula. Thank you for sticking around for so long. I know I've been waffling on for quite a while now. So and you were here right from the beginning. So thank you. But yes, here is the P class. I think since we started off with this engine, didn't we? So it sort of feels logical to finish off with it now, so to speak. And here it is, just coming into shot. And yeah, I'm always amazed. Every time, honestly, someone asked me earlier in the stream, are there any locos that you get a certain amount of joy from above all the others? I think the Hatton's P class has to be one of those, honestly, because it is a stunning little loco, and it's not only does it look great, but it runs really well as well. So yeah, fantastic. Okie doke. Right. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope you have a very Merry Christmas, especially under the circumstances that we're all in at the moment. It's a bit crazy, and I hope that this has sort of gone some way to sort of helping you switch off from that, or just kept you entertained for a while. Like I said, I've got lots more videos coming out over Christmas. There'll be another video on Sunday as per usual, and then hopefully I think I've got a few more midweek videos coming out as well. So, but yeah, mostly videos every Sunday at 9 o'clock. Hopefully you figured that out by now. Here's the P class just making its way off, and yeah, thank you so much for joining, everyone. Thank you for keeping me busy in the chat as well. It's always nice to have lots of people chatting along, and I love the sort of little community that the videos have built up. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. We'll just say goodbye. We'll watch the P class sort of disappear here, and I think that's pretty much everything I need to say. I don't think there's anything else for me to say. I'll just check. There's no questions I've missed, have I? I think so. But everyone seems to be saying goodbye and Merry Christmas, so I think I'll take that as my cue to end. We've gone a little bit over, but thank you so much for joining, everybody. Yeah, I really do hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you very soon for another live stream when we hit 1,000 subscribers. So hopefully that won't be too long away. And like I say, I've got some very exciting plans for that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Goodbye, Merry Christmas and all that. And yeah, have a fantastic week or day or whatever you're doing. Yeah, have a good one, guys. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.